I always thought the beach was supposed to be peaceful, golden sand, crashing waves, and seagulls singing overhead. That's the image we carry in our heads, right? But when I arrived at Driftwood Bay, it was different. Quieter, too quiet. I had found the listing online, a beachside cottage for rent, cheap with minimal amenities, perfect for writers. I was working on a novel and needed solitude. Driftwood Bay was off the map, practically forgotten. Exactly what I wanted. The cottage was small, weather beaten, with white paint peeling from the wood. A narrow path led down to the shore, where the driftwood littered the sand like bones of sea monsters. The ocean stretched forever, grey and moody, under an overcast sky. There were no neighbors. That first night, I unpacked my laptop, sat up at the desk facing the sea, and tried to write, but I couldn't focus. Something about the crashing waves felt wrong. They were not rhythmic, they were shuddering like the ocean was speaking in the broken chord. I chalked it up to nerves. New places always make me uneasy at first. Then I heard knocking. Three slow knocks, not on the front door, on the window. I turned quickly, but no one was there, just the sound of wind rushing past the cottage. I shook it off and went to bed early, but I dreamed of the sea, and the sea dreamed back. The next morning, I went for a walk along the beach, hoping fresh air would clear my mind. That's when I saw her. She stood at the edge of water, white, dress soaked, hair tangled like seaweed. She faced the sea, unmoving. I called out, she didn't respond. When I got closer, I realized something was wrong. Her feet were not on the sand, they were in it, buried, half submerged like the tide had claimed her legs. But she did not seem distressed. She just slowly turned to look at me with eyes that were too pale, too clouded. The sea remembers, she whispers. When she sank straight down, the sand swallowed her like quicksand. I stood there stunned. The waves lapped at my ankles. When I looked down, all I saw were a few scattered shells. No girl, no footprints. I ran back to cottage, heart pounding. I told myself it was a hallucination. Maybe I was more stressed than I realized. But that night, I dreamed out frowning. Only it wasn't water that filled my lungs, it was sand. Each morning, I found new pieces of driftwood outside the door. At first, I ignored them, but then I noticed something odd. They had carvings, scratches, words. The first one said, "Hear us." The second one, "Below." And the third, "Return." I buried them in the fire pit, but they came back the next day, more of them stacked in neat little piles like offerings. I decided to search the beach again. That's when I found the shipwreck. It had been buried under the decades of sand and time, only recently unearthed by a storm. The broken ribs of hull jutted from the beach like skeletal remains. Inside the wreck I found bones, human bones. I called the local authorities or tried to, no signal. I drove inland, but the road was flooded out, tapered, no one around for miles. When I got back, the bones were gone, and someone had written on my window, "The drowned one never left." That night, I boarded up the windows. The knocking didn't stop. It came from the walls, from under the floorboard, from the drains. Whispers filled the air like sea spray. "Return, return, return." I checked the bathroom, was dripped endlessly from the tap. Even though I had shut off the well, the mirror was fogged, but I had not showered. I wiped the glass. She stood behind me, the girl from the shore. Her eyes leaking salt water, her mouth filled with sand. You see us now, she said. I turned, nothing there, just silence, until the mirror cracked down the middle. I stopped sleeping, I stopped eating, I dug instead. Somewhere in my frank mind, I thought if I found the source, I could end it, free them. I returned to the wreck at low tide and started digging beneath it. The sand was wet and heavy. Hours passed. Then I found it, a stone doorway, ancient, covered in symbols I didn't understand, and beneath that stairs leading down. I hesitated only for a moment, then descended. The air was thick, wet, the walls buzzed like the inside of a throat. At the bottom, I found a chamber lined with mirrors, not glass water, perfectly still, and in each reflection, them, the drowned ones, dozens of pale faces started back, whispering, begging. I looked into the closest one, saw my reflection. Only it wasn't mine, it was hers, smiling. I screamed, but no one heard. The water heard, and it reached up. I woke on the beach, alone, but changed. The tide had gone out. The wreck was gone. No bones, no mirrors, no door. I stumbled back to the cottage inside. Everything was clean, ordered, my bags were packed, a car idle outside. My publisher, he said I had emailed him, told him I had finished the book. You look pale, he said, like you have seen a ghost. I saw more than one, I replied. He laughed. I did not. We left Driftwood Bay, but it never left me. That was a year ago. The book was a bestseller. Horror fans said it felt too real. I can't look at the ocean now. I can't walk on sand. I avoid mirrors. But sometimes I hear them calling in the bathtub, in the rain, in my dreams. Three slow knocks, then a voice. We remember you.